Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Just doing the first episode of Aussie Invasion on my channel, which will hopefully be my continuously weekly Thursday night stream. We got someone in the background. We'll just get him on the stage.
First episode? What are all those other ones going to be?
Yeah, but this is the first named episode.
Okay, you're not going to go back and name those other ones?
Nah, I'll leave them as is.
They were the many pilot episodes.
Yeah, that's right. The test subject episodes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
How good does that look? Woo!
It does. Right. I just ordered new lighting for my room. So I don't know if you've seen it before. It's like a channel and it screws on the roof, and then you just twist the lights in wherever you want. And you can put as many as you want or as little as you want.
Hang on, it's a what on the roof? A channel?
So like a C channel. And you wire into the C channel, and then the channel gives the power to the lights. Hey, Werewolf.
I'm confused.
So it's a C section like that. And it goes across the roof. And then there's two ends, a power end and a dead end. So then you buy the special lights and they twist in. And when they twist in, they get power. So the strip is 2.5 meters long. I can put one light in it, or I can put 10 lights in it. And the lights are directional lights. So I'm going to have the strip going across the roof, and I can aim the lights wherever I want to aim them.
So you're just going to, so what, they're like spotlights almost?
In a way, yeah, but you can get all different sorts of versions of them.
Come on. That's being annoying. Okay. A lot of people were just buying like the light bars now. Have you seen those?
Which light bars?
They're just like a pole, kind of like a light pole, and you sit in the corner, and it kind of just like Bo's got one in his place. He doesn't use it for his streams, but he just has it in his living area. A lot of people are using those now. They're just like a long bar. You can get them, and they're kind of just on stands, and you just put it in the corner of the room, and it kind of just makes that whole corner sort of light up. They're getting popular.
Yeah, I've decided to go. So I'm bringing it up on the page to show you, but it figured it was starter caps to turn the bulb on. Not sure exactly what you mean, Werewolf.
I know what a starter cap is, though.
Starter cap on a car and on a light is two different things.
Oh, I was talking about starter cap, like a
the hat,
the brand starter. Is that what you meant, Werewolf? Starter caps?
All right, so let's do this. It's settings, right? No, not settings. How do I share a page? Present, share screen. Share screen. We want to share. Where is it? Beacon lighting. Wrong one. So let's close this. Wrong beacon lighting. It is share screen. This one. So you see the black track there?
Yeah.
That screws on, and then these things just twist in place. So, and then you can obviously.
Is that going to really? I mean, but are you getting that just to have better lighting in the room, or are you trying to get that to help your display?
Oh, both. So
I don't know if it's really going to light up. You should, like, your display would look sick with some lighting in there, but like inside.
I've got lighting to go in the cabinets too, but this is more for But why don't you want to move up? More for like just so I can have lights coming towards me here, so I don't need the ring light.
I don't know, man. Like for example, I hate that I've got downlights now at the new place. Well, it's not really a new place anymore, but I hate downlights. So I turn them off now because it comes directly down at me. It gives you a really weird shadowing effect, which I hate. Like I turn the lights off and then I just have my ring light in front on now.
Yeah, but that's the advantage of these. Like if I put it and it's giving shadows or thing,
You can
I
adjust
can
it.
move it. I can move it 5 mil that way, 10 mil, whichever, and I can slide them wherever I want in the rail, and I can add more and take off.
Oh, so they slide as well. Okay.
Yeah, and then the light has 360 turning that way and this way. Well, not 360, probably 240 this way and 360 that way.
Very good.
It's a little round thing. Okay.
I reckon if I typed in starter caps into Google, it's going to bring up a cap with the brand starter on it. Starter caps.
Probably.
Yeah. It's exactly what came up. Is starter even a brand still?
It is. It's not as popular as it used to be, but it is still a brand.
Mate, we should bring back starter, mate. We'll be vintage, retro. Starter cap.
I've got heaps of starter stuff still.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want some starter stuff. I want to be a starter guy.
I've got a big. You remember the old I would say they're snow jackets, but they used to be the football teams, the NFL teams.
Yeah. Everyone used to wear the NBA ones back in the day.
Yeah, I've got the Dallas Cowboys starter big puffy jacket.
No, but I don't want. I want starter caps for heads. Fucking Mad Spidey would have like the Charlotte Hornets starter jacket from back in the day, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my brother's got the Chicago Bulls one.
I don't know if I did have any. I must have had a cap, but I don't know if I had any of those jackets. Those jackets were like the shit back in the 90s.
Yeah, that's when we got it. So I think I wore it once outside because it was huge when it was raining, and never again since.
Did Starter make anything else besides? Do they ever make shoes or anything?
Yeah, shoes, clothes. Back then they did.
Starter shoes. Oh shit, they do too. Wait, they still do. I reckon they'll be cheap and nasty now. Oh.
All depends. So, do you remember a brand called LA Gear?
Yes. That was like a cheap brand, wasn't it?
No, well, in the 90s, they were one of the brands that were making basketball shoes.
Oh, yes, I do remember that now, yeah.
Back in the days when you could get the Reebok pumps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, they've started making shoes again, because I bought a pair like a year ago, 2 years ago.
I'd rock some of these starter shoes, man. They've got some high tops. They've got these black and red ones look pretty sick. They don't have a big range though. They got these like rip-off Chuck Taylor ones as well.
Let's have a look. What
Just
you're
type in
looking
starter shoes.
Yeah,
bringing it back. Yeah, let's be the ones that make starter cool again.
I think it'll take someone a bit cooler than me and you do.
All the kids will be like, "Ooh, you see those look at the drip on those 40-year-old dudes over there."
They don't look out of whack.
They just look they look like old school shoes. Like the first ones they are showing, they look like New Balance. The first lot. And then you go down, you got their basketball sort of high tops and stuff like that. And then if you go to page 2, they've got like the Chuck Taylor sort of Converse style.
Yeah, I've got heaps of like the Converse styles.
Yeah, that's all I used to wear. And then I realized after fucking wearing them for fucking 20 years straight, my ankles were cooked. So I stopped wearing them. And because they got so fucking popular. Like I used to buy my Converse Chucks from the Converse factory on Smith Street,
Yeah.
$25. My first pair of Chucks was $25. And now they're what, $150
So
shoe?
I remember when I bought my first Chucks, I bought two. I bought low tops. They were green, and I bought the blue high tops.
Yeah, the blue high tops.
I've still got the blue high tops to this
Wow.
day. I've had them for like 20 plus years now.
My
And the green ones I destroyed. But then I've got the Batman ones, the DC Batman ones. I got the Green Arrow ones. I've got the Justice League ones.
I never had low tops, but I used to wear them. I used to wear them every day, so I used to go through them like every fucking I don't know, I reckon 8 or 9 months, and they'd be fucking dead. I really like the ones I like. They had ones that were chunkier, so they were the same, but it's like around the ankle bit. They were like more cushiony and chunky, but they
Yeah.
did like these leather ones, and the back kind of rolled down a bit. I had those, and they were sick. But again, they were
Yeah.
still laugh.
By the end, they started making better ones.
The last pair I bought a pair of leather ones, and it was so shit. So I'm normally a size 12, right? And even in Chucks, all my life I was size 12. So I put on a size 12, and I was like, I feels like there's a little bit of room to move in there. And then they were like, "Oh, do you want to try the 11?" I put the 11s. I'm like, "Oh, like 11s always just feel a little bit too tight. Like I feel like I can get away with it, but they're just a little bit too snug." So these 11s don't feel too bad. And then she was like, "Oh, they'll stretch out as well." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just get the 11s for these ones." And then I wore them 5 times, and every time my little toe would just feel like it was getting blistered, so I just stopped wearing them.
Yeah.
That was the end.
The
I'm size
white
12.
the white stuff on the front doesn't stretch out. The rest of the shoe might, but if around your toes doesn't feel
Yeah,
right,
I've got really flat feet as well.
yeah, I have the same. I don't have flat feet. I have high arches.
Yeah,
So
I've got the opposite. I've got no arches.
yeah. So, but in saying that, I will show. So obviously, it was my birthday this week. So I got a gift. I'm sure you don't have a clue what this is.
It's shoes.
Yeah, obviously.
Hey,
Smart.
show us the logo again. I don't know that logo.
Basketball player.
Whoa. So is it LeBron?
No.
What other basketball players do I know? That other guy who never misses. What's that guy's name?
Curry.
Yeah.
Wrong company. So
Are they? Hang on. Why they got a Jordan logo on them as well?
because they're Jordan, Jordan is the branch of Nike that makes them, and they're Lucas.
Yeah, cool. You want to do it now? Okay. I'll be back. I got to move my car.
No stress at all.
Entertain the masses. Werewolf, come on.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, it was my birthday on Monday, so I was given a whole bunch of gifts. So obviously I've showed off some of my Marvel DC hats before. So picked up an Avengers hat as a gift. New era. So pretty cool hat. Cheers, Werewolf. I would say they are. Most basketball shoes these days aren't cheap. Thank you for the birthday wishes, dude. Okay. So I also was given So it's a distressed X-Men logo t-shirt. So big fan of the X-Men. Moon Knight socks. And final gift, the X-Men 97, 92 series logoed New Era hat, which will fit in with my collection really well. So I'm always pretty lucky that I get Marvel DC themed gifts for my birthdays these days. So sometimes it's collectible for the cabinets, sometimes it's hat, t-shirts, comics. So always getting something cool to add to my collection. So there's also got birthday gifts which I showed on previous stream, which was the Bumblebee Lego Transformer, which I am going to have to get to doing pretty soon. I'm going to assume it'd take me probably as long as doing the Optimus Prime, which took me a good probably week and a half, 2 weeks. Hey, Werewolf, this year I didn't get any books as gifts. I did buy a book for myself, which I will grab in a minute when Simon's back.
Nothing like a birthday present for yourself.
What?
Nothing like a birthday present for yourself.
Yeah, I didn't buy it. I bought one for myself. Hey, Kenneth. All right, now that you're back, I'm going to quickly grab a book I picked up. So, entertain.
Oh, okay. I'll entertain. I opened my Street Fighter figures last night. You can see the unboxing video on Instagram. These Street Fighter figures are absolutely off the chain. Like, I couldn't believe the quality of these Street Fighter figures from Jada Toys. I've got them. I'll bring one up.
Which Street Fighter figures did you end up getting?
Well, I got Ken, Ryu, sorry. I've got Cammy and Chun-Li, and I've got Guile on pre-order. But these figures are like quality, like just the way they feel, the articulation's insane, and they're like the best feeling. That sounds weird. They're the best quality action figure I've come across, I would say. I just cannot believe. I did an Instagram video. There's a pose I did where he's throwing a kick in the air. He's on one foot and it balances perfect. Well, it took me a second. He didn't balance perfectly, but the fact that you can actually get him to do a 1 foot kick, is pretty impressive. So I got Ken up there. You can see. I haven't opened Cammy and Chun-Li yet, but they'll be next. But yeah, and look what they come with. Check this out. Hadouken.
Are they the ones we seen at Go Figure? That brand?
Yeah. So I'm spewing I didn't buy Bison that day because I'm sure I'll be able to get him still, but I don't want to miss out on him.
Do you want me to go get him for you from there?
Well, can you? Oh, well, from Go Figure. Yeah, it had 20% off though.
Huh? I can check if I can get it through the supplier.
Well, if you see it, no, it's probably too. The thing that worries me about the supplier is I'm assuming it's like Mark. It might be there, but by the time you order it, they might go, "Oh, sorry, there was none." SF. Yeah, so I want to get Bison. I've got Guile on pre-order. I want to get Bison, and I want to get Sagat when he comes out, and I want to get Akuma. But now that they're so good, I'm starting to think I might also want Vega, Balrog.
And the whole fucking set. Just say you want the whole set.
There's 2 so far that came out that I have no interest in. They released DJ for some reason. He didn't come out till Super Street Fighter, and then they released Fei Long, who also didn't come out. So it's really odd their selection. But I'm starting to think I wouldn't mind all the original ones. But I should just start with getting the characters I really like. So Bison definitely. Guy, like I said, I'm waiting on, and I want to get Sagat because he'll look cool. But even like Vega, he's gonna look cool. Like I don't know if I care about Blanca and Balrog that much, but by the time I've got all those, I may as well.
Yeah, just keep getting the whole set.
Actually, you know what? Cammy also came from Super. She's actually a newer character, so but yeah, she's cool.
Have they did what's his name? The sumo?
Yeah, so I've seen them. I've seen pictures, but I haven't seen that one on sale. I don't think, for memory. Because like I've seen photos of Sagat and Barrog, but I've never and Akuma even, but I've never seen them in stores. E Honda, fuck, did he? I feel like he already did come out, but it's just not one I see very often. And again, another one that I probably wasn't on my radar. But if I get all these ones that I want, by the time if there's only like 3 or 4 left, then I may as well get all the original guys.
That's right. Oh, I'm sure. I'll quickly show you the birthday gift.
What?
Because
Oh, nice.
I got an Avengers hat, Moon Knight socks.
Nice. We're invading YouTube, Whack. You should join in. Although I'm not gonna be
We're invading Thursday night.
Yeah. Although in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to bring the podcast back, so I'll be invading the invasion. But we'll be done by the time you start.
I got X-Men symbol T-shirt and X-Men 97 New Era cap. So I'll eventually do a stream showing the caps because I've got like 40 of them now.
What X-Men? Did you say you were still missing one X-Men 97 figure?
I am missing. I think got Executioner. I think 2. So if I got to double check, but I'm pretty sure I got Cyclops. I got the Magneto. I got the Executioner.
Mate.
And I got Jean. I think I'm just missing Nightcrawler and Goblin Queen.
Okay.
So
yeah, I got Goblin Queen. You should be able to find. Nightcrawler will probably be a hard one, although they do have some at Pop Toys still. I don't know. I know they got Cable at Pop Toys, I think. Do you have Cable?
See, Nightcrawler was on still on Pop Culture, but when I tried to buy it, it said out of stock. So
Ryu just fell over. Maybe the figure's not that good after all.
Nah, I've got Goblin Queen. I think I'm missing Cyclops.
Oh, okay. So pop culture. I think I've read. Give me a sec. I got it. Sarah wants to show me something. I'll be back in a minute.
So, all right. Well, the book I picked up for myself. So, I decided this year on the list of books I want to, or book series I want to complete. I've got 1 and 2 of this run. So it's only a 16 book first series run. So I'm going to try and get Luke Cage Hero for Hire done this year. And I'm also going to try and get the Iron Fist solo first series done, which is 15 or 16 books as well. Because just trying to get, since I have the first appearance of each character and the first appearance of them as heroes for hire, I figured I might as well get their solo runs leading up to that done. So, been a quiet week with picking up stuff, obviously, considering it does eventually change into it, but as his solo title Werewolf of Luke Cage Hero for Hire, it's only 16 books, and from the 16 books, like 8 of them are minor keys, whatever you want to call them.
Don't miss
So
anything.
I just showed the book I bought for myself. So
Nice.
I went down to Collector's Edge, but it's starting to turn into like the one on Sydney Road, Evil Empire.
No, not even close. Not even close. It is.
Close enough.
It's a lot. No, no.
Give it a
Evil,
chance.
Evil Empire. If there was more than 2 people in there, it was too many people in there. And the thing is, with you can pretty much get to everything. I mean, obviously there's war books where they'll have to get down for you, but at Evil Empire, you would see something and be like, to get to that, you'll have to stand on all this other shit.
Yeah, but like I wanted to get to the X-Men books, but they had boxes and boxes of shit in front of it. So there was no chance in hell I was getting to the X-Men books.
As in, were they receiving stock or something?
I don't know if it was saving stock or just had stuff, but there was boxes everywhere and things piled on top of things. So, and obviously the sort of books that I tend to go in there looking for aren't the books that are in the easy to pull out boxes.
Oh,
They're
dude,
not
that's one thing. So I've always wanted to just go digging through all their back issues, but those short boxes are so full. It's
Yeah.
like you have to pull a massive chunk out. And then once you pull it out and go through the box, you can't put them back in. Back when I used to go there a bit more regularly, I used to just pull out random short boxes. Like I wouldn't go through the whole thing, but every time I was there, I just go through like a random 2 or 3 short boxes. And if I found something, I found something. I went there 3 weeks in a row and I bought the same book. They had all these copies of it's like a Batman issue. It's like the first Bluebird, which is like a nothing key, but I was like, oh, what happens if one day Bluebird shows up in something, baby? I'll be rich. I'll be rich. Huh?
In saying that, there was a $2 book. It was a Green Arrow book. It's the first appearance of John Diggle. So he appeared in the TV show Arrow, and then they wrote him into the comics.
Nice.
So every time I see it, I keep buying it just for the same reason that if they ever do use him, because he was a popular character, if they ever do use him in the movies, I have a few copies.
Do you think Spider Boy will ever have his day in the sun? That Spider Boy action figure came out looks pretty good.
I think he will, but it'll be a while. Like I think we'll see him like in the Spider-Verse, the animation stuff.
Who is he? Who's the character? Do you know?
No idea.
Yeah, but he'll appear in something, but it doesn't mean he's going to hold value like a Miles or anything like that.
No, but they will use him in live action. It's only going to be a matter of time before we get Miles, Spider-Gwen, all of them live action. Because they're killing Spider-Man, how much they're using him. They're going to want to go to a different character and keep the Spider-Man thing going.
I read somewhere, and I don't know if it was true, that Sony were potentially going to sell the license back to Marvel. Is that any truth to that?
Not that I've heard, but it doesn't mean it's not true. But they'd be stupid to, because every time Marvel makes a Spider-Man movie, they make money for doing nothing.
Yeah, but remember it was a big thing. Like Marvel, like had to work out a deal to do that, didn't they?
Yes, that's why. So why would Sony sell it to Marvel when they can do
because
nothing?
Sony clearly don't know how to make it. Well, I guess the Across the Spider-Verse stuff's been cool.
No, they know how to make Spider-Man movies. They're just trying too hard to build the universe without Spider-Man.
Yeah, but the movies aren't good. Like I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen Madame Web. I haven't seen Craven, but Craven did not look good. Like the fact that people get upset when they're like, "Oh, Madame Web was so shit." It's like, did you really, really think it was going to be good? Because if you did, then that's the problem.
Yeah, but in saying that, people got upset with the first Venom, and it wasn't.
I hated the first. I do not like the Venom movies at all.
See, I didn't mind the first Venom. The only thing I didn't really like in the first Venom was that it was too dark. Like
But isn't
most
that
of the
what Venom should be? Venom should be
not
dark.
not dark as in a dark movie. Like the actual scenes were dark.
Oh, okay. So you
Like,
know why? You need to get, mate, Sean, come on. You don't have an OLED TV? You seem like the type of guy who would have an OLED TV. So, um, you know the new Alien movie, Alien Romulus?
yeah,
So I saw it at the cinemas and I saw it at Baronia Cinemas because it's close and they've got like a really shit old cinema. So I watched the movie and at the end I was like, man, I could barely see anything because it was a really dark movie. Like all the
yeah,
scenes were really dark. And I was like, man, I couldn't see anything that's going on in that movie. So I was like, I want to go see that movie again at a different cinema. So I went with another group of friends at a different cinema and it was definitely better. Definitely better. It's come out on Disney now for streaming. So I was like, oh, I want to see what it looks like on my OLED. Man, the OLED TVs are phenomenal. Like, and that's where you're going to notice it the most. Like, people can come into, JB, look at all the TVs and go, oh, they all look the same to me. You fucking put on a super dark scene on those TVs compared to an OLED TV. That's where you're going to tell the difference and why people pay the money for it.
all right.
And I know you, Sean, you want the best and you deserve the best. So you should get an OLED TV, a big one,
Honestly,
and then invite us all over for movie night.
I don't really bother in spending big money on a TV because you keep fucking having to change it every 5-6 years.
That's not true though. Look now, like how much more advanced are they going to get? Like 4K, fucking, there's no such thing. Like no one even watches 4K shit. Everyone just watches 1080.
It's not for the technology. It's for the TV shitting itself. Like I had a Sony, I bought it a long time ago, and I spent a fortune on that TV. And after about 7 years, it shit itself.
Yeah, well, my Panasonic is now. It's got to be fucking coming up to 12 years or more. And so we moved that into my bedroom when we got the new TV. And Sarah's like, isn't our new TV so much better? And I was look. Because, there's that whole thing. People who love plasmas, and as Sarah calls it, old men. Yes, I agree. Old guys love their plasmas with such old technology, but people still come in, oh, I've got a plasma, mate. Nothing beats it, mate. Nothing beats it. It just keeps going. Beautiful picture. They always go on about the plasmas, right? And I agree. So I bought that plasma because at the time it was my first TV purchase. I was moving out and I was like, I'm going to buy myself a TV because when I live with these losers, I'm just going to bury myself in my room with my big TV. And I was going to buy a Samsung LED. At the time, it was LEDs or plasmas, right? So I was going to buy a Samsung TV because Samsung was hot at the time. Everyone was buying Samsung. So I go to the and I didn't work in sales back then. I worked in DVDs. So I was like, hey guys, I should buy a Samsung TV, right? Samsung's the best, right? And all the TV sales guys were like, no, get a Panasonic plasma. They're the best by far. I was like, oh, I'll listen to you guys. So people still tell me how good my TV is, right? But yes, I'll agree. The OLED technology is much better. But I did say to Sarah, yes, this OLED looks better, but I guarantee you when this OLED carks it, my plasma will still be going, baby.
Yeah. But back 12. So I would have assumed that the Sony I bought back then would have lasted long, but it didn't.
So
and I bought it.
I'm not huge on like I thought about, there was a while I wanted a Sony. Sony have a lot of software issues because obviously I deal with all the problems, right? So at my old job. So Sony had a lot of software problems. And look, at the end of the day, man, everything can fuck up at any time. The way they're made apparently is they're made on a lifespan of how many hours you're going to basically use it for, right?
Yeah.
But you never know. Once it gets past I've seen people buy the most expensive TV and it's fucked after a week.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's the problem I'm having now. Like when I bought the first Sony, it lasted me for about 8 years, then fucked up. Then within a matter of 3 weeks, I bought a TV. I can't remember what brand it was. Started playing up. Took it back. They gave me a new one. The second one started doing the same thing. I went to a different shop to buy it. I bought the same TV because I wanted that TV. Did the same thing from
wait,
that
what
company.
was this problem? What was the issue?
I'd go to turn it on, wouldn't turn on. Then it would turn on and I'd be watching it, it'd turn off. Did a whole bunch of stuff.
So a lot of the times with TV, especially nowadays, older TVs, no, but nowadays, right? This is the shit thing about technology now. You have to keep things up to date. Like, why? It's like, why? Like, for example, my MacBook. So a lot of times I'll log into a stream and my webcam won't work. Like the StreamYard will say you've got no webcam. And then I restart my computer, it installs a new update. All of a sudden, the webcam starts working. And I'm like, why did it stop working when it was working, like without the update? Because even though it was working before this update existed, like it doesn't make sense. So a lot of the times when there's TV problems, so for example, my ex-partner, she bought a Sony OLED, right? And she was having this issue where every time you open the smart menu, it would just close itself. So you open it and it would just close itself. And then she found this weird long way around to get to it. So she just started doing that. She's like, but why is the home menu not working? It just keeps logging out. And I said, you know what? Just give it a few weeks and it might fix itself because a software update might come through. And after about 3 weeks, she goes, yeah, it just fixed itself. So a lot of times it's actually just a software problem. But that's so shit. Back in the day, there was no such thing.
Yeah, but this problem, the TV was brand new and I went through all that shit. I'm pretty sure it was Sony, but I'm not 100% sure.
Sony have a lot of software issues, man.
I called the company, do this, do this, do this, and I did everything they said. Then the third TV, I took it back to the place and they said, oh, we'll give you another one. I said, I don't want another one. I want my money back. This was like in September and I had to argue and argue and argue to get my money back. I finally got it. Then come Boxing Day, I said, I'll wait till Boxing Day. I went on Boxing Day and I bought the TV. I ended up getting a bigger TV for cheaper than what I paid for that first TV. But
so
now
you bought, hang on. So the first two Sonys that had problems, you bought from the same place, and then you went to a different company to buy the third one, and then return that one for your money back. I suppose you get your money back in the first place as well.
But I wanted that TV because I did the research. It was meant to be a good TV. I thought I got the first two from the one place. Maybe they got given a bad batch. So that's why I went to a different shop, assuming that maybe different batch of TVs wouldn't have the same problem.
I reckon a software update would have come through eventually.
Yeah,
but that's shit. You shouldn't have to. But that's the thing. Like, I don't understand why we live in a world now where things stop working if you don't update it. Like, it was working fine without the update. What's going on?
My TV now is coming on 7 years old, and that's what I'm having. Like sometimes I try and turn it on, and it won't turn on. So I have to hold the power button to make it reboot, and then it'll turn on.
Is that the TV in your living room?
Yeah.
The big one that's in the cool room?
There, where I got my comics, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I update it all the time. It's on automatic update for when it needs to update. Sometimes I can push the button, it'll turn on straight away. Sometimes it won't turn on, and I have to do that. Wait the 2-3 minutes it takes to go through everything. Turns on.
Are you sure it's not the remote?
Yeah, I'm sure it's not the remote. Because even like, you know how you can go to the streaming channels? Sometimes if you push the wrong button and you go to the streaming channels, you can't get back to watching the normal TV.
Okay, yeah.
You have to factory reset the whole TV. Yeah. And then redo it.
I'm telling you, man, don't get it. So I was almost bought a Sony a few years ago, but then I just kept dealing with software problems with people.
Yeah,
Um,
I won't be getting a Sony the next TV I get. That's for sure.
go an LG or a Samsung, mate. But even
Yeah,
like they all can have problems. That's the thing. But
yeah,
I must say, with my experience, Sony, for a good brand that made good TVs, they definitely had a issue.
yeah. But in saying that, I've got a Samsung. I've had LG. It's just a matter of how lucky you are.
Well, mate, that's because Panasonic stopped making TVs, mate.
I'm the Sony that I have now. I know what the issue was. It was the first version of the new technology they had in the TV. And they were selling it cheap because they were trying to get the new technology out there. Because, like, when I bought it, the TV I was getting before was a 65-inch, and it was costing me nearly $3,000. And then when I bought this one on the Boxing Day sale, it cost me under $2,000, and it was the 75. So, thing, and it worked fine for the whole first year, 2 years, and then started playing up.
Our TV was, I think, new. It was like about $3.5 grand, and then we got it when it was on end of year sale as well. We got it not end of year. I think it was starting to get discontinued. That's right. It was at the start of the year. The best time to buy is obviously end of the year and start of the year, because at the start of the year, depending on how much stock's left, they start getting discontinued, so the prices will drop. So we got ours for about $2,000 for like a $3.5 grand TV. So we're stoked.
Mm-hmm.
But then the new one comes out, and you're like, oh, well, the new one.
Yeah. I'm not.
Can't tell the difference, mate.
I just a TV is a TV for me. I watch. I
If
don't
you could
care.
see, that's the thing. The only way to get people, because yeah, like I said, a lot of people come in, they see the wall of TVs, and they think it all looks the same. I worked there, so in the beginning, I would have been, yeah, they look pretty similar, right? But once you work there and you spot those differences, then you can't unsee them, you know. So
I
like,
know there's differences, but I'm not the person that I care to spend an extra grand for
yeah,
that difference.
I would always try to tell people to get the better one, but as soon as I get the point and they're like, yeah, we're not going to afford that, I was like, cool, look, put it this way, this one here, the cheap one that you're looking at, when I used to always say this, when that's the only TV in the room, it's the best TV in the room.
Yeah. So a TV for me is I'll have stages where I'm always watching it or using it, and there'll be stages where I don't look at it for a month. So to go spend all that extra money for something that sits there.
Yeah, well, I think that's why my plasmas lasted so long, because I went through a big phase of really not using it much. Especially when I first started YouTube, I was just living on. I live off my laptop. I think I watch more stuff now because I've got a nice TV. Like I enjoy like just trying to get something out of my money. But watching movies on it's really cool. We just need a new soundbar now because my soundbar is almost as old as my plasma.
I've got the 5.1 surround sound and I never even use it. It's all set up. I
If you're
can't
watching
remember.
if you're watching movies, man, nothing beats surround sound, dude.
I can't even remember. But the problem is I used to have it set up where I could watch the movies on TV and it goes through it. And then I rewired everything and I never bothered rewiring it back the same way. So the only way I have the 5.1 is if I'm watching a DVD. And I'm just too lazy to plug in a
Wait, so
DVD.
have you got this 5.1 system plugged into the TV or plugged into like an amplifier or something?
It's plugged into the amp.
Okay,
And
that's
the
probably why.
amp is plugged into the DVD player, not to
Yes,
the TV
yeah,
directly.
no. So the amp should be plugged into the TV because
Yeah,
that way everything that comes out of the TV should be going through the amp.
yeah,
And same
but
with the DVD player.
yeah, because I ended up hiding all the wiring in the wall, and it comes up from the back of the TV, and I just never bothered putting the wires for that up.
So you try to
So
go too fancy, mate.
yeah, I have that many stupid things that I never use. If I'm gonna invite everyone over for a movie night, I've got the blow up screen and the projector for outside. So I can put like a big 3.5 meter screen outside. Might get to that eventually.
Mate, you got no room in the back, mate. It's all cars.
Yeah, they're all going. Hopefully sooner than later.
Really?
Uh,
Mate,
but
if you had that whole space, you could have Days of Future Pop Culture at your house in your backyard.
I could, but I never would, because then that means everyone knows where I live.
That's true. So what's
But
the plan for that, mate? You got a 2025 going to be the return?
I will be looking for a venue, but I'm not going to do it unless I find a decent venue. And the only options I found so far are crazily priced.
Man,
So
there's so much competition now as well.
that's the only thing that's sort of playing in my advantage, is because the venues that wouldn't host an event like this are starting to see the amount of people that are coming through the venue. So they'll rethink it because they make money off food and drinks and stuff like that.
Oh, but wait, are you going that big, are you?
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do reservoir size.
Really?
Maybe not both rooms, but at least one.
So I've been thinking about it recently, right? Like maybe one day I would put on a show.
Yeah.
Like if just I would just do it once. And obviously I would film a vlog following my journey to a successful comic and toy fair.
See, I've been speaking with Billy, so we're looking to co-host, so do together, because obviously Billy has more in with the comic book guys, so he can get a lot more comic guys there, and I get all the other type of sellers, the people who do the toys, the gifts, and stuff like that. That's why I want to
And
go bigger.
I'll bring everyone else.
And like I've spoken to like Jamie Johnson before and stuff like that, and they've said they'd be interested in doing something. So it might cost me a little bit to get them down, but get someone like Jamie or Camilo down to be at the show as well. Just the added.
I think for that type of thing, if you want the artist like that, you really need to, you can't just spring it up and say this is on in 3 months. You need to, so what Nine
Yeah.
does so well about the reservoir shows is, hey Dave, what's going on? Thank you
Well,
for your package, by the way, Dave. Um you need like he starts plugging the show like a year in advance. You know what I mean?
yeah. But the thing is he has his venue. So like when I actually find my venue and can guarantee that they're happy to host the event, then I'll start planning out for like say 6-8 months in advance. But it's also trying to find a time frame that isn't competing with all these other people and all of that other stuff.
I didn't realize there was so much politics involved between all the event goers and vendors and things like that. Like, just because obviously I talk to everyone now, and I'm just starting to find, oh, this person doesn't like this person doesn't like that person. Oh, that guy did this. I'm like, wow. You
The
guys
the
should just,
problem with it is when you so I didn't charge a lot to have a stall at my event, like Billy doesn't. So me and Billy weren't in it for money and trying to make money. Other people are trying to run it as a business.
yeah,
When
yeah. So I get that part, and that's why you're stepping on my turf, sort of thing.
No, but it's not just about stepping on your turf. When you start running it as a business, so you as a stall holder, if they're running their event as a business, you expect a certain level of whatever, what do you want to call it? Um, Respect and all the other stuff to be there. So if you go to an event and he's looking after another person better than he's looking after you, or this and that and thing, that's when all the infighting starts. Whereas with me, like with me and Billy and the smaller people, we're doing it either raising money for charity or doing it to have an event. So we try to look after everyone the same as much as possible. So, like, I know when I was running my event, I would try to cap the amount of the type of person I had because I could only have so many sellers because I didn't have room. So I didn't want to have 10 people selling
Oh,
toys.
they all do. I think they all do that now.
Yes, but it works out to, so like with the guy in Reservoir, he's got the 2 rooms. Obviously, the one room is always more popular than the other. So all the sellers want to be in. It comes down to perspective as well. Like when you walk in, you most people always go to the right room because it's easier to get in, or whichever it is.
So that's what I asked. Remember which room? I go to the left always, but some
Yeah,
people go to the right.
but when you come into that
Yes,
bed,
yes, he is Dave. By the way, sorry. Yep. Yes, Billy is booked.
yes, but the so at Reservoir, one entry into the room is right in your face. The other one you have to walk past the canteen a little bit to get into it.
I think people make up that. For me, I naturally just think going left, but I think people like literally. I filmed it last time because I was interested to see, and people get there, and some people are like, and then they just choose the direction. I don't think they really know. Some people, I think, feel natural to go one way over the other.
Yeah, but there's a lot of factors in like that. Even like since I started doing the events, you notice patterns and things in people. So, like if you notice Supernova, never have the same type of people always next to each other
Yeah, I get that.
because it forces everyone to walk around.
Yeah.
But because it's one room, the people are forced to walk around. Whereas he's got 2 separate rooms. If someone, like, just say like how you went to go figure looking for that figure, if you were going to the show with the intention of going to go figure to buy that figure, and if you had spent your budget, you're not going to be looking at all the other stuff because you can't buy anything. So little,
Reservoir mixes it up pretty well, I think. I think one of his earlier shows, he had a lot of people grouped together, but then I noticed after that he started splitting them up. So the last one, so the small Reservoir show he did recently, which was actually quite big, he had it really well spaced out. Like he did a really good job with just having it you go everywhere.
yeah, but there's a lot of different factors that can piss people off, that can upset people, and
I guess, how do you know about like if you book a date, like you've really got to be up to date with everyone and when they're doing their events, because like I know Billy, for example, got hit up by one of the event people. I was like, "Hey, we're doing that date. You
yeah,
shouldn't do that date." And Billy was like, "Fuck you, I'm doing my date."
yeah. But see, that's the other thing. Like all these guys are doing 4 or 5 shows. You The show grows, but 50% of your people are going to be the same people coming through the door. So if you continuously go,
I should. Sean's got one. Sean has one. I should. Sarah actually really wants one too, so maybe werewolf. If we get one, I'll name the machine Werewolf by
I
Arcade.
I've found some cheap ones on Facebook.
Yeah, but I don't want a shit one. I want a good one. The ones
No,
we looked at were right, but they weren't cheap.
there's ones like mine with all the games for decently cheap, but they came up after I bought my one. But the as I was saying, 50% of the people who come to see the show are always the same people. So
Yes.
if they come there and they're not buying anything because what's there is not the sort of stuff they want, eventually they're going to die off and try other shows.
One of the things, so I was talking to Andrew from Pop Toys, who runs the Malvern and the Giant Size
Yeah.
one. He was telling me, so Collect Fest is coming up, right?
Yeah.
So apparently Collect Fest is going to all be grouped. Toys here, cards here, coins here, and that's going to be, because there's going to be people who couldn't give a shit about coins. But I was saying, like, if you mixed it up, I'm not into coins, but if I happen to walk past it, I might see something that's cool.
Yes, but that's their whole sales strategy is that, because the type of events that company is known for doing is like the home show and thing. And those events are those type of events where everything's grouped together. So like I applied to do there, and that was one of the main reasons why I didn't actually do this show, the one coming up.
Because you got too much shit.
Yeah, but where am I going to be placed? Am I going to be placed with the people with the pops? Am I going to be placed with the people with the toys? So if I get placed in a category that I have this much stuff of, and people don't come and look at that stuff because it's not what they're thinking, I'm losing out on a lot. So I'm planning on going to the show to see what it's like and how it works before I commit to it. But there is so many factors that you don't even like pop in your head when you're trying to do a show.
Oh, I can imagine. But that's what I'm saying.
Like,
if I do a show, it won't be for at least another 2 years.
Yeah.
Simple
like,
con.
I found the great venue, but the issue is they only have one lift to get up to the room.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got to go up. Yeah, that's even crazier. Yeah.
So it's all good when you open to the public because but when you're trying to get the people to bump in the morning, and there's only one lift.
That Sandown show I went to, everyone was there waiting to bump in, and the fucking people who were supposed to open the door came 20 minutes late.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I found another venue that would be great and perfect. It was a little bit expensive, but manageable. But they wouldn't open the venue till 10. And nothing would get them to get someone there before 10. So
I don't understand how you can run a business then if you've got all these.
Then I've gone to other venues where we can't host like a market or an event. What's the difference what the event is? You're renting out a space. You tell me you want this much money for your space, I pay you this much money. That's it. But no. So finding a venue in the western suburbs is crazy. And then there's no point for me going in the other side of town, because then I'm competing against Malvern, I'm competing against Reservoir, Box Hill, all of those shows.
No.
So
Box Hill's not a competitor, mate.
Yes, but it's still a show. You're competing for a date. You're competing for thing, especially in that area. So it's the same. Like, you don't want to be within a certain time frame of other shows, because you're limiting the people who will come to your show. You're limiting the sellers who will come to your show. You got to pick a good date in a good position and everything that matches. So it'll be interesting to see a Simple Simon date.
It will happen, mate. I'll contact everyone. I'm gonna make everyone who has beefs with each other unite for SimpleCon.
SimpleCon, is that the name?
I don't know. It's a working title. Anyway,
SimpleCon hosted by Simple Simon.
I'm gonna have to jump off, man, in a minute. So, are you
No.
gonna wrap it, or are you gonna solo it for a bit?
I might solo it for a little bit. I got
Cool.
some other stuff I can show, and then
Cool.
might.
All right, mate. Well, good hanging as always. I'll probably try to be here for a bit next week as well.
No, it's just
Let me know with what we discussed earlier, just about your other thing. Just let me know the dimensions and all that sort of shit
I will.
that you need, and I'll sort it out for you.
Yeah, I'll work it out. I know it's somewhere, but even if I jump on the editor, it'll tell me what it needs to be.
Yeah. All right, mate. Have fun.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see
I'll
how
speak
things
to you
go.
soon. All
Take
right.
care, buddy.
Peace.
Peace. Alrighty. We'll see how long I last here by myself. So, going back to what I was discussing before, I've been doing some research on what I think my collecting goals for the year are going to be. Because I'm pretty close to not pretty close. One book down left to get knocked off to get the X-Men run done. One book left for my Black Panther run. So trying to decide what my next runs are going to be. Um, Considering that the X-Men book is still a big book, I don't really want to be starting a big series yet. That's going to end up having me chasing more bigger books. So I'm going to do some smaller stuff. As I said, going to do the Luke Cage Hero for Hire run. Um, it's 16 book run. Doing the Iron Fist solo series as well, which is another small run. Let's see. I'm pretty sure in the Heroes for Hire run, there's a good 6 or 7 key books. So, yeah, it's a 16 book run, and out of the 16 books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 16 books are key books. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to be big key books, but make them a little bit harder to get my hands on. And the same with the Iron Fist Volume 1 run. It's only a 15 book run, but out of the 15 books, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 key books out of a 15 book run, which should make it interesting to get. In saying that, I have a few of the main keys. Obviously, I got the first book and second book and the first appearance of Sabretooth, which makes it a little bit easier. And then I think besides those two main runs, I'm just going to focus on doing some key books, just some random key books. So I've been going through and just picking some books I want to grab. So another book that's going to be in my hunt is first appearance of John Constantine. Just because he's become an interesting character to me. So want to chase up some of his stuff. So be chasing Saga of Swamp Thing 25 and first appearance of Blue Devil. Just because I have been slowly getting the Firestorm Nuclear Man books. So grab that. I'm also looking at getting some first cover and first art books of certain artists. So one that I'm looking at getting is first published cover art by Todd McFarlane, which is on Affinity Ink 14. Not really a big book, but just book on my list. Obviously, there's Saga of Swamp Thing 37, which is the first appearance of John Constantine. We have another book that I think just be cool to have, which is Calibra Presents #1, which first appearance of the Crow. I got that on my list. Try and get. There is a big key X-Men book, which now that the X-Men run is finishing for me, that I'm going to try and grab is Next 3 to get the first appearance of Lara Kenny, X-23. A book that I've been looking for a while, which is the Batman 635 versus Jason Todd. Another thing that I will be chasing and putting a fair amount of effort into this year is I'm collecting the Superman Flash races. I've got, I think, 4 out of the 9 races they've had. So I'll be chasing up the last few that I need. In first published artwork, I'll be chasing Flash 289, which is first artwork at DC by George Perez. So there's a bunch of random books that I'll be adding to my list to chase up. I will do proper video showing these books for my hunt list for the year. But okay, I think it's a little bit hot in here and no one really wants to be sitting listening to me ramble on. So I think I will cut this stream at this point. But thank you to everyone who was watching, and thank you to everyone in the chat for commenting. I will be, as I said, trying to keep this show going every week. So be back next Thursday. And thank you to everyone who catches the replay. Cheers.